So, how do you become a top 1% man? That's today's question. What habits do you need to adapt? How much money do you need to have? Is it all about having a huge status in the society, or is just something that comes from within? In your society or the world in general, which people do you consider to be the top 1%? Is it your dad, or is it your uncle? Is it the billionaires that you look up to, the likes of Elon Musk, Aliko Dangote, or Mohamed Deuji? Or is it the celebrities like Drake, Kanye West, or Diamond Platnumz? Well, today in this episode, we're going to know all about that. But most importantly, you're going to know how to become a top 1% man, because we are going to provide everything that you need to know. So stay until the end of this episode to know how to become the top 1% man. Or you can just click out and be among the bottom 99% man in the society, like the nobodies. Welcome to Make Your Own Destiny podcast, the podcast that inspires you to shape your future. And today we are back again. We are back again as we started. If you're the OG of this channel, you know that since the beginning, only two of us started here, and we have been having several guests here. But today we don't have any guest. It's just me and my brother Monty here, and it's been a long time coming. I know you guys have been asking for this kinds of sit downs where we're just two of us dropping some value to you guys. So I'm with Monty today, and Monty looks really good. Today Monty is wearing shades for the first time. Bro, is that gold in your shades?
This is actually Musa's glasses, and wearing shades indoors, it was inspired by Musa. Today he told me to embrace the change. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment down below. What do you guys think? Do I look good with the shades, or do I look good without the shades? So what do I do? So that I know for the next episodes what to do. But yeah, today we're back again with another episode, solo episode. People, you know why people love these type of episodes is because instead of us asking guests of what they're doing, how they made their own destinies, in this episode we actually provide topics on how people can empower themselves. For example, today we're talking about how to become a top 1% man. We've talked about how to make money in ChatGPT. We've talked about marketing. We've talked about different things. So today is how to become a top 1% man. For the women that are watching, when we're saying top 1% man, we don't necessarily mean a man. We mean just how to become a top 1% person. And I feel like this is more of your mindset. This is more of you as a person. It's not really about the money. It's how you want to look at it. As Musa said, it's how you want to define it. From our perspective, how we look at it, it has three parts. The first part is the foundation. The second part is the physical realm. And the third part is the legacy. Talk about the first part, which is the foundation. It's more of the mindset, the skill set, the network that you have. Now, let's dive into the mindset. When we talk about the mindset, what do we necessarily mean? What we mean is every success story that you see behind starts with a mindset. If you have that mindset, then you will achieve it. If we didn't decide to use our minds into this podcast, then I don't think it will be where it is right today. But it's because of the way you use our minds, combine them together, it's going to become something big and bigger. So can you guys see how the mindset is being used here on how to achieve something big, or how to become a top 1% person? Now, that's one way to look at it. What's another way to look at it, Musa?
Just adding into that, you know that the mind, the most powerful object that a human being has, because it always begins in the mind. Like all your dreams, all your achievements, they always begin in the mind. I actually read this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. To grow rich, you have to think. And to think, you need to have a mind. I remember even the other day,
I quoted it,
like thinking is the hardest job in the world. That's why most people don't think. For example, we always do stuffs every single day, but most people do stuffs without thinking. I can ask Monty, today, just think about it, or even the viewer who is watching this video right now. How many times have you sit down and actually think before doing anything today? You'll be surprised. You'll see, like, you think very rarely. All the things that you do, You do them because you're programmed to do them. You just wake up because you always wake up. You just go and brush your teeth, go and eat. It's just you have been programmed to do that because you have been doing it with repetitions every single day. That's why you're doing that, and you are doing that without thinking. So just imagine if you are using your mind every single day. You are thinking, man, you can achieve greatness. There is nothing that you cannot achieve if you think about anything that you're doing. The mind is very, very powerful, and to be top 1% man, you have to think. It all begins in the mind. All the biggest inventions in the world, all the biggest scientists in the world, they used their mind. They imagined. The power of the mind is unimaginable.
So the key attributes of this mindset are basically, number one is self-belief. I don't think you can do anything without self-belief. If you don't believe in yourself, then nobody will do it. Because if today, let's for example, let's forget about Musa. When I started Monty Vlogs, if I didn't believe in myself that I could do it, Musa wouldn't come to me like, believe in yourself. No, I have to first believe in myself, then let others believe in me. This podcast, when we started this, we believed in ourselves. People didn't believe in us, but after seeing what we can produce, people started believing in us. So can you see why this is a key attribute of this mind? I don't think people are taking this in. Think about it again. If you believe in yourself, why would not somebody else believe in you? Take that in. Ask yourself that question. And when you get the answer, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Because do you think, Musa, if we didn't believe in ourselves, people will believe in you or us?
No. First of all, you have to believe in yourself before anyone else believes in you. And believing in yourself, it means having confidence with what you're doing. Should be very confident, because if you're not confident, no one will believe in you, and you just look like you don't know what you're doing. There's a video actually I watched the other day. This guy he's a very big YouTuber. It's called Nico. You know Nico from the UK? Yeah, so he showed this video. It was titled he actually went to Monaco, and he wanted to see how he can get anything for free in Monaco. So there's this time he went to a Bugatti yacht, and they let him in because he was very confident. So whenever he was getting into the yacht, any question that they asked him, he looked like he knew what he was talking about, and he looked like he was invited there because he was so confident. They thought like he was one of the guests. But then later they came to him. They were like, "Yo, who invited you?" Yeah. And he was like, he didn't know because his name was not in the list, so they had to kick him out. But what got him inside there was the confidence that he had, because without the confidence, he wouldn't have passed even at the door. So you have to be very confident. With confidence, you can get through anything in life.
That's very true. Another attribute of this mindset is resilience. Talking about resilience, I don't think anything in life can happen without any setback. I'll give you a very, very simple insight of the challenge we just faced here. We were shooting an episode. We got to the 30th minute and the voice was not recording. So originally we had to start this whole thing again. Yeah. But then we didn't fight. We didn't argue. Took it as a G. Started this podcast again. Started this episode again. Started recording. So for someone who's weak and has a weak mindset, after that they'll just be like, you know what? I can't shoot anymore. Let's just go home. But no, 30 minutes in, we started from one again. Because one, we are very resilient and we know how that life has setbacks, and it's just about how we take it. Next time we just have to confirm, reassure that everything is taking on, everything is recording. Second, we want to provide as much value content to you guys as we can. Because if we had weak mindsets, be like, why are we doing this? Let me just go home. Because right now, honestly speaking, it is 6:18. Musa, you could be doing other things, I could be doing other things, but no, it's not to sit here in this very big room and shoot an episode for the people. So please take a break, like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't just subscribe, smash that subscribe button for us, because how the YouTube algorithm work, if more people like this video, it means it's going to get to more people. A lot of people are going to see this video on how to become a top 1% man. So please like, subscribe, and let us know. Do you think you are the top 1% man, or you are among the bottom 99%? Let us know down in the comment section.
So back to my point, as I was talking about the podcast, Let me give you a simple example in life. When we face these type of challenges, for you to become a top 1% man, or for you to become a top 1% person, instead of looking at them as challenges, look at them as opportunities to grow. As I previously said when we were recording, I said that I was watching this podcast of Steven and the CEO of Airbnb, and the CEO of Airbnb was actually talking about how during coronavirus the company literally crashed, and everyone, it was headline that his company was going to vanish, like it was over for Airbnb. But then I didn't have a weak mindset. He was very strong, and he knew he was going to come back bigger and stronger. Now, he thought of new strategies, marketing strategies, operation strategies, every strategy that you can think about, he thought of it. And through this, he made the company better than how the company was before coronavirus. So what do you take from this? What I took from this personally was that a challenge that you could see as a very big challenge, if I take it as a G, if I take it as an opportunity to grow, it can be looked at as differently. Everyone has different challenges. For you, look at your challenge that you're facing right now. I promise you there's someone facing a harder challenge than you. But the question is, how are you going to take it? That's what differentiates you and another person.
Yeah. Every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. Don't take challenges as problems. Just think about, okay, what opportunity lies in this challenge? I remember even, someone who invented the light bulb. He tried more than 1,000 times, but he didn't give up. And he even said, okay, I failed 1,000 times, but it's because of failing. That's when I found the right recipe. And that's why today we have the light bulb. Because if he gave up, probably there wouldn't be a light bulb today. So take setbacks as a way to move forward. Don't just give up. Don't just stop. Even on our podcast, we have faced a lot of challenges, as you said, but we never gave up. We keep going, and we're going to keep going. We know there are a lot of challenges that are going to come, but still, we're going to push through. And that's what we always tell our viewers here. No matter what you're facing in life, that's an opportunity. Even the prophets, even Jesus himself, he faced a lot of challenges. They even killed him. But that's when he became the top 1% man. And that's why until today, people think highly of him because of the challenges that he faced. Even the prophet Moses, he faced a lot of challenges taking the Israeli people from one place to another. There were a lot of challenges that he faced. But at the end of the day, those challenges are the ones that made him win at the end. Without the challenges, no one would really care about him today. So take challenges as opportunities, always.
So guess what the other attribute of this mindset is?
What is it?
Just basically a person who always seeks out for knowledge. So for someone who's subscribed to this channel, will actually know all the valuable content that we've provided.
True.
For example, the previous episode that we did with Brian, that we did with Jax, there's a lot of things that I actually learned from them. For example, with Jax was talking about how he had to take a whole year to himself with no women, no friends, just himself stacking up, trying out different opportunities. From that, what I understood and what I took in from it is that seeking out more knowledge, because the guy tried out different business modules, the guy tried out different types of strategies to just become a top 1% man, and eventually it became one. So the person that always seeks out for knowledge is the person that always comes out on top, because knowledge never ends. People think school ends. School, yes, does end, but education never ends. Today you learn something new. Very simple example. Your dad, what he knows and what you know is two different things. But by educating each other is how you become top. Because what your dad went through when he was young, or what your dad went through during his 20s or his 30s, is nothing near what you're going to go through. I promise you that. Because of the time frame, because of how things are changing, because of technology. So if our parents were to sit here and say, what I know is what I know, what you know is what you know, you do you, I do me, we'll never get to where we are. But because of learning, actually the other day, I was telling my dad about ChatGPT, and I think you were there, and he was like, what? Wow. So by me teaching him that, now he knows there's something called ChatGPT. Now he can just go to ChatGPT and be like, oh, hey, and things are working out. But it's a person who's seeking out for knowledge. But if a person who's ignorant and doesn't want to seek out for knowledge, then that is where we lack becoming a top 1% person. Now, my advice to you is always seek out knowledge. I always have this saying that even if a crazy person is speaking, take in the important things, leave other stupid things behind. Because before he was crazy, he was the same person, right? So that now, actually, maybe something happened now become crazy. But then he still has knowledge. And just because he's crazy and you say you don't want to take the knowledge, you might be missing out on a few gems. That's my advice to you.
Knowledge is very important. I remember one of my mentors who is a social media guru. His name is Ty Lopez. He always say, seek for knowledge. Also, I can tell you as a viewer of MOD podcast, you have to seek for knowledge, even if that knowledge lies in the teeth of a lion or in the throat of a lion. You have to go inside there and get that knowledge. Don't be arrogant. Learn new skills. That's why there are a lot of podcasts these days. In this day and age, we are very blessed. Knowledge is everywhere. There are books that you can read. There are podcasts that you can listen to. Just imagine, you can just go on a podcast and listen to a smart guy like Elon Musk dropping all his knowledge right there for free. What else do you need? Just learn, man. Don't be arrogant. And after all, the more you learn,
The more you earn.
the more you earn. We all know that. At the end of the day, if you know, you know. And there's a very big difference for someone who knows and someone who doesn't know. And you can get knowledge from anyone. Even if someone is a fool, just listen to him. Because at the end of the day, you'll be thankful, like, I'm not a fool like him. So anyways, knowledge is everywhere. Seek knowledge. It's very important on your journey of becoming a top 1% man. Because without knowledge, you're just a pawn on a chessboard. You're just among the rest 99% who are at the bottom.
Coming to my next point,
Okay.
I have one question to you. And I want you to be very honest about it.
Okay?
Have we earned any money from MOD podcast?
No.
Why are you still doing it?
Because we have a dream and we believe and we want to help people. We want to help as many people as we can. That's our vision. So if just one person comes to me and says, yo, I learned something from one of your episodes, that's a very big payment for me. That's what I like. And that's what I'm looking to achieve in this podcast.
Now, talking about that, when we started, we had around, let's say, 100 subscribers, and we're all just friends, pushing forward. The payments of people complimenting us, the payments of people saying, I've learned something, kept on increasing. And that comes to the next point of this mindset. If you're a person who just thinks of the now, not the future, or Swahili say, utaachwa mbali. What it means is that they will leave you behind. And why do I tell you this? Because no businessman, no businesswoman, no entrepreneur ever thinks of the now. They always think of the future. Someone invests $100 million in a venture. You ask them, when are you going to make your profit? They'll tell you 15 years. But then they know when they start making profits, that the money is moneying. They say the money is moneying. So for you, be different. Don't think of the now. Don't be the rest of the people thinking just now. Because people in our society think, if I put the money now, I'll make it back tomorrow. They want the quick money. Quick money doesn't last long. I promise you. That I talk through experience. The quick money that you try to put in doesn't last long. But when you think strategically, when you think of the future, when you invest money that you know, okay, it might be a big investment, but then I know the risks, and I know when I look back at it in the future, it will be worth it. That's how a different person thinks. Now be like this person instead of just thinking of the now.
Yeah, it's true. As you said, you have to be a visionary. You have to think of the future. Don't just think of today and tomorrow. You have to think 5 years ahead. Even when you're investing, you have to think, okay, in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, where am I going to be? That's how you become a visionary. Anyways, the other point on how to be a 1% man is having a skill set. Because without having any skill, you cannot make any money. Skills are the ones that makes you money, especially if you don't have money. Money makes money, or skills makes money. So you have to make sure you master a certain skill. So what skill do you have that's going to take you to the top 1%? Comment down below. Or just tell me, what's the number one skill on this day and age that can make you a top 1% man? There are a lot of skills that you can master, whether it's programming, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales, but you have to have one skill that you have mastered. Without a skill, you cannot go anywhere. And we are very lucky in this day and age. You can learn about sales just by going on YouTube. You can learn about marketing. We have videos in this podcast where we talk about marketing. We have talked about branding. We have talked about how to make money. Just go back to our previous videos and learn. I'm sure you'll find one skill that's good for you, because you can never become a 1% man without having a skill. You can see Jeff Bezos. How did he become a top 1% man? Because he had skills. He knows how to sell digital products. He knows how to sell physical products online. That's his best skills. He knows how to market. That's why he got so far. What skills do you have? Go learn new skills. Don't be arrogant. Education is everywhere. Without skills, you never get anywhere. I think that's one of the most important things that you need to consider if you want to become a top 1% man.
Just to add on the videos, even with the people that we have brought on our podcast, there's Captain Brian. He's a pilot. There's Jax. He does with crypto. There's Tarek. He deals with crypto. There is a lot of people. There's point being is they have different skill sets that if you add 1 + 1 + 1 could equal one big thing. I think people underestimate the skill set that you can have. You can have a single skill set, but I promise you, if you use it properly, it will be different. For example, as an editor, as a director, if you direct one video and you use your skill set properly and you broadcast it to other people, the amount of people that could be watching it and just try to book you because of what that one skill set that you have is extraordinary. You could open a company with it. You could become a billionaire with it. I promise you. As Musa said, Jeff Bezos, his skill set was to sell things. And look, he sells things online, physical things online. I don't think anyone can do that. Not everyone can do that, because it's the rest of the 99% people. But moving forward on how to become a top 1% man, I feel like networking. You need to network. You need to know more people. You need to understand more people. You need to add your contact list every day. In our previous episodes, I think we talked about networking, and Musa was saying that, and actually it's the thing that I learned from Musa. He was talking about how he always knows how to check up upon his people. I told him personally, I personally have a lack of, I network a lot. That's not a worry. But what I lack is keep in contact with someone. Now, Musa actually introduced me to something that actually made a lot of sense. It's like a broadcast list. So I'm giving you a tip that Musa gave me too. So see, we're learning from each other. So it's actually like a broadcast list that I know for right now it's available on WhatsApp. So you go and click on the broadcast, so I could send one message but to a lot of people. So what he does is, for example, I could be like, good morning, how are you? How's your day? I hope you're doing well. So I could send that one message to 50 people, and I'll have 50 people to keep contact with. But because how to keep contact is by checking up on people, is making sure that the person you're with is all right. Because not one day you can just call someone and be like, oh, can you help me with this? But then you didn't keep contact with them. So for someone to be comfortable with you, you have to keep contact. So that was just a point to add on, and how to become a top 1% man. If you want to learn more, go to our previous video on how to network. So we have video how to network. And click on that video. Make sure you watch it till the end, and you'll understand more how to network. Now through that video, it'll give you a bigger picture on how you can become a top 1% man through networking.
Networking is very important, bro. As you know, your network is your net worth. If you hang out with 3 millionaires, you'll be the fourth one. If you hang out with 3 cows, you'll be the fourth cow. That's how it works. You can't just tell me, like, if you be hanging out with someone who sells perfume the whole day, you smell like perfume. And if you're hanging out with someone who is doing nothing all day, you also find yourself you're doing nothing. And the most important tip when you're networking, you have to think, what value can you provide to people? Because the world is very cold, man. Everyone is very selfish. Everyone thinks of themselves. So because you know that, you have to think, okay, what does this person needs that I have? What value can I add in this guy's life? That's how you network. You network by providing value to other people. If you don't have any value to provide, just think about what skills do you have? What value can you add in someone's life? That's how you network, and that's how you keep your networks. Without value, you cannot network with anyone. And there are a lot of ways you can network. As Monty said, we talked about them in our previous episode. We dedicated the whole episode on how to network. We even did a whole event called Connectors Club. The aim was for people to network, for people to connect, and we're actually going to do another Connectors Club event. So if you're looking forward into it, because a lot of people have been asking, like, when are we doing the next Connectors Club event? Because people are looking to network, because on that day a lot of people got a lot of networks, a lot of people connected on that day. So if you want the next Connectors Club event, just comment down below Connectors Club, and we're going to do the next event. And trust me, it's going to be the biggest than the previous one. Although the previous one was very big, but the next one is going to be bigger.
Now moving on to the part 2 of how to become a top 1% man. As I said, the part 1 was the foundation, which we just covered. It was the skill set, your mindset, and your network. Now part 2 is more the physical realm. It's more how you are as a person. Now how you are as a person also determines if you can become a top 1% man. You cannot be sitting down and healthy expect to become a top 1% man. Look at most people who are rich. They have that. When you look at their schedule, they have a time to go. You could see they have a belly, but the belly is just filled with money. But then they still dedicate some time to gym. Now, why do they do this? Because they want to stay fit. They want to stay healthy. Now, for us who are still trying to make our own destinies, who are we to say we can't dedicate some time to our fitness? As our previous episode, we had Dr. Noreen. She said, your health is your wealth. And she also said, treat yourself before you get treated. When you say treat yourself, doesn't mean take medicines. No. Eat healthy. Make sure you're eating good. Make sure you're doing some exercises. Make sure even your mindset, just having some stress-free mind, like doing some yoga or doing some meditation, also helps with your mind and also helps with your health. I personally can vouch to that, because I used to think meditation doesn't help. But when you sit down those 10 minutes to yourself, no phone, no nothing, just sitting down and just thinking, as Musa said, you don't think. Have a notebook on your side. Let me say this as a tip. Take a notebook, put it on your side, switch off your phone, switch off everything. Sit down for 10 minutes, put a timer. Now start thinking of ideas and write them down. After that, tell me what comes up. And I promise you, I promise. It will be different. It will make you different. Musa, I think you should take this as well. And the next episode that we do, I want to ask you what you took from it.
Another thing, apart from physical health, apart from eating, apart from having a good diet, apart from going to the gym, is actually mental health. You know, mental health is very important. And most people lose their lives just because they have a very bad mental health. Most people live with depression. So mental health is very important when you're becoming a top 1%. As you know, your mind is everything. And we said that in the beginning of this video. And if your mind is affected, you cannot do anything. And most people these days, their minds are affected because there are a lot of stuffs that are going on. There are a lot of problems that people are facing that they can't overcome. That's why mental health is a very big problem. So my advice, I think, to have a good mental health, you have to observe your fitness, you have to observe what you are eating, you have to be around people, you have to talk, you have to do therapy. As Monty said, you have to do yoga, you have to take time to yourself. And as you know, right now we live in a digital world. People are always on their screens. People are always on Instagram. People are always on YouTube. They are always comparing themselves with others. You know, someone will go on Instagram and see their friends or their families. They're on vacation. They're living a good life. But what they don't know, that's just a highlight of someone's life. someone will become depressed. They'll think like, oh, why is this guy doing this? And I'm just here, just chilling at home, doing nothing. This guy of my age, he has achieved a lot. He has a car, he has a house, and I don't have a house. That's how you become depressed. So to take care of your mental health, you should always have a digital detox. Stay away from social media for some time. Just enjoy life and be thankful with what you have.
I feel like it's a very deep topic, and I feel like for us to cover more on this, I would really love for us to find a specialist we can invite to our podcast, because mental health determines a lot in our life.
Yeah,
If your mental health is not right, I don't think you can work right.
true.
And if you treat your mental health right, you're most likely going to be happy. You know, talking about looking at other people, that's one of the main things that can stop someone from becoming successful. Is just comparing yourself to other people. Compare yourself to yourself. What did you do yesterday? What am I doing today? I said this on my previous episode with Tracy. I don't want to repeat myself. Compare yourself to yourself. But I don't want to get too deep into this because it will become a very deep topic. But one day we shall find someone special and make sure they're big to talk more mental health, because we want our viewers' mental health to be very well, our mental health to be well.
True.
And you never know what someone's dealing on the back of their head, or the back of the screen.
Yeah.
What I post is what I want you to see. You don't see what I don't want you to see. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So either I'm grinding, either I'm going through something, or either the life is just not lifing in the moment.
Yeah.
So whatever you see of someone posting, whether it be a girl or a man, or someone who's very rich, how did they get their wealth? Did they show you that? No, they didn't. So ask yourself why. Now, instead of sitting on your phone and just looking at that, you figure that out and then go grind.
It's true. And what I realized is most people, they never post their struggles on social media.
Never.
You know why? Because it doesn't get the likes. You know, on this podcast, we are working day and night behind the scenes, making sure the videos come out. But if we share that, no one will like it. We only share the achievements. We only share, oh, today you have 1,000 subscribers. We only share the good stuffs. We never share the bad stuffs. So you should be aware of that next time you're on Instagram. People don't post their failures. They only post their wins. So whenever you're in a dark spot, you're not alone. We are all together. So if there's any mental health expert watching this video, just reach out.
We'd really love to have you in this episode.
Yeah, because it's a very deep topic.
Coming to the reason why we started MYOD podcast, and coming to the third part of how to become a top 1% person, is the legacy that you want to leave behind. There was a time and day I was walking around with Musa, and I asked him, for you to determine that you're very successful in life, what is it? Is it the millions? Is it the cars? Is it the houses? And Musa told me something that was very unique and something that was very different. I don't know if he remembers, but it's something that stuck with me, and it also keeps pushing me to do this podcast. He said, for me to consider myself successful, I want more than 1 million people to be successful with me and to say, Musa helps me in such a way. Whether it be the money, whether it be with knowledge, whether it be with different gems they can give out. When he said that, it opened my mindset. It was like, why do you want money? Why do you want cars? Why do you want houses if you can't give it back to the people? Look upon every people that's at the top. They have their own way of giving back, and there's a reason for that. Even in the religion, they say, the more you give back, the more you get. The more blessings that you want, just give back. The other day I was with my friend, and it was a very simple example I gave. I was like, if I was to give you 10,000 right now, how would you see it? I was like, it's just 10,000. I'll just go buy, let's say, for example, Chips CI. But for example, if you give the 10,000 to someone on the streets, I promise you, until tomorrow, they'll be praying for you. And there's a reason for that. Now imagine helping 100 people like that. The blessings that you get are different. That comes to become the top 1% person. What legacy do you want to leave behind? I remember Musa, I don't want to speak too much on it. There was a time our friends dad passed away.
True.
I'm not sure if you were there, but in our religion, we take the person to the cemetery and then we bury them. Usually there's a car for that. And it was a distance for like 10, 15 kilometers. But the people had so much love for him that they decided to carry him and walk 10, 15 kilometers. It was 2 p.m. It was very hot. And for the people who live in Dar, know the heat that heats in Dar. And I asked myself, why are people doing this when there's a car that could take him? Asking around is because of the legacy he left behind, of the people he helped, of how he was with people. Now, for you to become a top 1% person, you can't just sit there and when a person walks, you're very rude. When you speak to your waiter, you're very rude. Whatever you do, and Musa once told me, whenever you see someone speaking rude to a person, to a waiter, for example, determines more who they are. He also said that if you're in their shoes, they'll disrespect you the same way. Is that a really top 1% person? Comment down below what you guys think. But I feel like I'm getting too deep. Let me let Musa explain more of the legacy, because I feel like if I talk legacy, I won't stop. There's different ways to leave a legacy behind.
Yeah. There's a saying which say that we rise by lifting others. So if you are rising all by yourself, man, that's not being a top 1%. And don't get fooled. Most people say it's lonely at the top. Man, it's never lonely at the top if you lift others and you go to the top with them. And there are a lot of ways that you can do that. There's a lot of ways that you can give back to your people. You can give back to the society. Because what's success if you are alone? What's life if you are enjoying it all by yourself? You have to give back. And how can you give back? You can give back in terms of knowledge. You can teach people about what you know so that they can be educated. Also, they can level up. As you know, on this podcast, we always provide gems to you guys. We always teach people about anything that we can find valuable. Apart from just teaching people, you can also give back by doing philanthropy. You can also give back by helping poor people. You can also give back by helping orphans. That's how you become a top 1% man. It's not just about having more money. It's not just about being successful by yourself. You can do community service as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have money to give back, you can give your time to help people. So there are a lot of ways that you can give back. If you want us to talk about this in one single episode, just tell us, comment down below. We'll explain everything on how to give back to the community. But it's very, very important if you want to become a top 1% man.
With that being said, one of the ways to give back is mentorship. Now, the first 3 people that DM us, we will give free mentorship for a whole week, whatever they want to know from us, whatever they want to learn, free gems to those people. But it has to be the first 3 people. And I promise, you will get a 15-minute call with us. Could be one of us. Whatever question you want to ask, whatever help you want us to give. And I promise you, with that same week, you want to come to our studio? Come. You want to use our studio for free? Come. That's not a problem. As long as you're subscribed, as long as you follow us, and as long as you have one of the first 3 people to DM us. Now, Musa, I will take that accountability. It will be down on me. So if there's any payments to make for the studio, if there's any payments to make to the director, I will do it. That's one other way I would like for this episode for you guys to understand, to give back to the people.
Yeah, man. We're always together and I'm with you in that. And if you're watching and you want to give back, just like this video. A simple like is a give back. You never know, your like can push this video to some other people. You never know how many people are going to see this video just because you liked it. So if you're feeling generous today, just like this video and comment. As Monty said, he's going to give free mentorship. So just DM us, comment down below, mentorship, and you'll be eligible to get that mentorship. So another way that you can leave legacy in this world is by inspiring others. You know, the more people you inspire, the more and the bigger your legacy is. And how do you inspire others? There are a lot of ways that you can do that. You can either write a book, let's say, about something. You know, even if you're dead, that book is going to live forever. Or you can just share your stories. You know, in this day and age, it's very easy to inspire others. It's very easy to share your stories. You can even start just a YouTube channel, or you can start a blog, write articles that explains about your journey, about your successes, about your challenges. You never know who you're going to inspire. For example, on this channel, we talk a lot, we help people a lot. A lot of people actually send us very good messages that, something that you said about marketing really inspired me to become a marketer. You talked about something about, let's say, networking. It really inspired me. I really became good at networking with people. So inspiring others is one thing that can get you to the top 1%. So don't ignore this. Whenever you're facing, just share it with others, whether you're successful. How did you achieve the success? As you can see, a lot of people who are successful, a lot of billionaires, let's say Elon Musk, he's always on podcasts, or Jeff Bezos, or for example, the founder of Apple, Steve Jobs. Until today, he has his interviews, he has his books that lives until today, where he was sharing, providing inspiration to people. So it's very important to give people any kind of inspiration that you have. You never know who will watch it. You never know who is going to read your book. Just do it. That's how you become a top 1% man. So one last bonus point on how to become a top 1%, and it might be probably one of the most important points, is you have to know how to manage your finances. Because a lot of people say, oh, money is not important, but still they work every day. They go to work 9 to 5 working for money. So without knowing how to manage your finances, you can never become a top 1% man. You have to know the difference between assets and liabilities. You have to know how to budget. You have to know how to make money, how to spend money. That's very, very important, because without money, this life is going to be very tough for you. And we have talked a lot of ways on how you can make money. We have talked about a lot of ways on how you can manage finances on this channel. So if you want to learn about that, let me not say too much. Just scroll down to our past videos. I'm sure you'll find a way to make money. I'm sure you'll learn the differences between assets and liabilities. I'm sure you'll learn how to budget. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot about money. As you know, this podcast is also a money podcast, and we love talking about money, although a lot of people get uncomfortable when you talk about money. But anyways, money is very important, but it's not everything, but it's very, very important, because without money, you cannot even take care of your loved ones. Without money, you cannot even buy food. So yeah, learn about money, and that's how you become a top 1%. I don't think there's any guy who is in top 1% and they don't have money. It's very difficult.
As you said, money is not everything, but it's very important. You can't take care of yourself. You can't take care of others. You can't call yourself a top 1% person if you're not hustling, if you're not grinding, if you're not different from others. With that being said, we've talked about how to become a top 1% man. This episode started very softly, and finally we went so deep why, and made me realize that becoming a top 1% person requires a lot. And it also doesn't require a lot if you look at it. Is if you put your mindset to it, you will change. If you put your skill sets to it, you will change. If you network with other people, you will change. If you're physically well, you will change. If you find a way to leave a legacy behind, you'll change. Think about the likes of Muhammad Ali. Think about the likes of different people that have passed away, but the legacies still live on. And those are the people that we call top 1% people, is because they had different skill sets that they gave out to others. They left that legacy behind. There were different people. They learned a lot of stuff, but they gave back to the people. Giving back to the people doesn't have to be about money. It could be the knowledge. It could be something very small. You could give them someone a little bracelet. They will think highly of you. Now, becoming a top 1% person isn't about the money. It's about your mindset. It's about how you put yourself. It's about how you sit there and someone say, this person is very different. When someone speaks, you don't shout. You're very calm. It's not easy, don't get me wrong. Even sometimes we get wrong, but it's about how you compare yourself yesterday and today. As long as you do that, you're well and good. Now, to end this episode, my one advice to you is that don't compare yourself to anyone. You will ruin your success, as Musa said.
Just remember that becoming top 1% man doesn't just happen overnight. It involves a lot of failures. So just enjoy your journey to become a top 1% man and never ever give up. That's the most important thing that you should do. Never give up. It's going to be filled with bumps. It's going to be filled with ups and downs. Just never give up and stay focused until you become a top 1% man.
With that being said, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.